Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ball in the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Slossing that soldier race.
Everybody, this is Jason Matthews, your host. Welcome to a new episode of MFIS TV. Today, we're going to talk about the presidential election. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And I know a lot of us might be hearing different things, but what we're going to talk about today is not about the feelings. We're going to talk about taxes, because that's what's in our pocket is how much money we actually keep. And we all love keeping money in our pockets. So let's talk about this, talk about how it affects you, and we're going to go from there. So what I'm going to do today is I'm really going to talk about bullet points on each person's tax plan, and you're really going to figure out what's going to happen, and you can make the best decision for your life. So currently, let's talk about Joe Biden. So currently, Joe Biden wants to raise taxes from what they are for the top tax rate of 37% to 39.6% for any household that's making over $400,000 a year. Now, to make over $400,000 a year, you're usually in the top 2% of households in America at that point. He also, and this is going to be a big one for small business owners, itemized deductions. He wants to limit certain itemized deductions. We don't know what type of itemized deductions, but he wants to limit those. Now, the people who usually take care of, who usually look at itemized deductions are usually small business owners, because they have so many deductions they have to run their business every single time. So we should look at that. Also, the next thing that Joe Biden wants to do is he wants to give more favorable tax treatment for long-term capital gains and qualified dividends, right? Which is a huge thing. So one thing I think nobody talks about when we talk about taxes in this wealth gap is we always talk about income tax. But one thing we solely miss out is talking about capital gains tax. And so what we should be looking at a lot is capital gains taxes. And so he wants to give favorable tax treatment for long-term capital gains. Now, if you understand long-term capital gains, that's for any time you have an investment that's over 365 days. Okay. Also, what he wants to do is Biden would like to increase the individual tax credit for children, the child tax credit. So currently what he wants to do is make it $80,000 or $16,000 for 2 or more children. That's great for a lot of middle-class families who have kids who need that deduction. That's a huge benefit for them. For education, under Biden plan, he wants to relate to higher education, providing special tax exclusion for student loan forgiveness. Now, here's a huge thing about student loans. My clients who come out of school, they did well, make over 90 grand a year. One of the biggest issues they do have is they have these student loans. And for them, if you make 80 grand or less, I believe, you actually could deduct the interest on your student loan. Currently, but if you make over 80 grand, you cannot. So Biden said, hey, let's figure out how to make a special exclusion for your student loan to be forgiven. Now remember, the second biggest debt in America is student loans. For individuals, you have your mortgage debt, and then student loans, and so on and so forth. But what is very interesting that, as a side note, is that there has actually been a decline over the last 6 years on the amount of people who actually been going for a higher education. Also, Biden wants to propose raising the flat rate to 28% for corporate tax rate. So what he wants to do is increase the corporate tax rate right now underneath Trump is 21%. He wants to increase it to 28% for corporations. And then also whether we have alternative minimum tax for any corporation which has $100 million or more. Now, here's a very something. Biden has been throwing out there for his payroll tax. Remember, payroll tax pays for our Social Security, our workers' comp, and all that. Biden has floated the idea of a 12.4% Social Security payroll tax, and that's going to be split between employers and employees on anything above $400,000. He's been talking about, so we'll see. And the last thing is he wants to go ahead and lower the estate tax from $5 million to $10 million. Now, if you know right now, estate taxes is for 10.8 for an individual and 10.4 for an individual and 22.8, which means that if I've done well in life, I build up a whole lot of wealth, I could pass down 22.8 $8 million to my family without paying no estate taxes, which is huge. But now let's talk about Trump. Trump plans on keeping the top tax rate at 37%. He wants to increase itemized deductions that we currently have and extend them after beyond 2025 and make them permanent into law. If you look at the current Trump tax plan, it's set to expire by 2024. So a lot of things he's doing is, hey, I just want to extend the tax plan I do have and then push for every other things that did not get in the last when we make our plan back in a couple years ago. Okay, there's no new changes on capital gains or dividends. There's no anything else. He pretty much wants to keep everything how it is right now. But the big thing that he wants to do is he wants to make a payroll tax holiday, which means this. If you don't have to contribute, your Social Security for employees is going to end. He wants to make it permanent, and employees don't have to contribute towards Social Security. Now, that could make a huge issue down the road when it comes to funding for Social Security as well. But, what I say is this. For businesses, I think the Trump tax plan is going to help out still small business owners as small business owners. Joe Biden's plan is going to help out middle-class families. So if you're a small business owner and you like those deductions you have, you like the total lag tax rate, or you're an investor, the Trump tax plan financially is going to help you out. Trump tax plan is going to help you out. But if you're a middle-class family who have a 9-to-5 W-2 income, Joe Biden plan is going to help you out, benefiting you more to keep more money in your pocket. Now, if you have any more questions about how can we build strategies to avoid taxes, period, from either one, give us a call, 510-229-7608, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Talk to you later.